welcome back to the Lazy Girl's Kitchen. My name is Maggie, and on today's episode I'm going to share with you how I like to make my chocolate muffins. Now I have a very special guest waiting for me in the living room today, so I decided to go ahead and make her some chocolate muffins. So without further ado, let me take you through the list of ingredients. Okay, so to make this, what you're going to need is some chocolate chips. So I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips all the way in the back. And then I'm using whole wheat flour. If you don't have whole wheat, just use all-purpose. That's perfectly okay. You're going to need some eggs, some sugar, some baking cocoa, some plain yogurt, some milk, baking powder, and then a little pinch of salt. You're going to need some heavy whipping cream, some butter softened at room temperature, and then finally you are going to need some vanilla extract. So before we go any further, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then you're going to want to take a muffin tin and just line it with some cupcake liners or muffin liners, whatever you want. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your semi-sweet chocolate chips and you're going to melt them in your microwave for 30-second increments. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop it in for 30 seconds, give it a stir, take it out, give it a stir, and you know what I mean, just back and forth until it's really nice and melted. And then we're going to set it aside to cool, and I'll meet you back here so we can assemble the actual muffin. Okay, so I just melted my chocolate and it's behind me cooling, so while that's going on, we're going to assemble everything else. So into my flour, I'm going to add in my cocoa powder, and I'm going to add in the baking powder and salt. And I'm just going to give this a rough mix, just like so, just to kind of incorporate everything. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to work on my wet ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butter and I'm going to whip it with my sugar. Now, this is only 2 tablespoons of butter, so it's not going to be super smooth, but it's just going to give you a little bit of a head start for everything. Just until the butter is kind of coated in it. See, it kind of thickens the sugar a little bit. That's really what you're looking for. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add in my eggs, my milk, the yogurt, and then my vanilla extract. Now I'm going to whisk this together, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my heavy whipping cream. But first I want to make sure that this is really nicely combined. So this is nicely combined, so I'm going to add in my heavy whipping cream. And now into this, I'm going to put in my dry ingredients. So I'm going to do half, mix it up. And then now the other half. This really could not be easier, you guys. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Alright, so I'm gonna just clean this off. I know that the batter seems kind of tough, but trust me, once you bake it, oh, it's gonna be amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my chocolate mixture and I'm gonna add it to this. This is going to give you that smooth, chocolatey feeling, like soft bites of chocolate. Look at that. You're just going to fold it into your chocolate mixture, just like so. Right, this is going to take me a minute or so. So I'm going to mix this up and then I'll meet you here so so that I'll show you how to do the muffins. Okay, so look at my batter. It is just like the fluffiest batter in the world. You have no idea how good this looks and how good it smells. So of course, you know me, my handy dandy ice cream scooper. I'm gonna take it, and I do about 1.5 scoops of the small scoop. So you'll probably end up doing, I don't know, if you have 1 big scoop, you'll probably do that. Actually, you know what? I'm probably gonna do, yeah, 1.5 scoops is probably good for me. So, because they do rise a little bit. So you want them just about, I don't know, 1/4 inch from the top. Really not like too low. There we go. So then what I do, and this is completely optional, which is why I didn't like add it as an ingredient. I take some cane sugar and I just sprinkle it over the top to give it just a little bit of extra crunch and sweetness, because it is a lot of chocolate. So if you're not used to that, it might be a little bit too much for you. So I think that this kind of breaks it up. So I'm going to finish these up, and then I'm going to put these into my preheated oven for 15 to 17 minutes. So you might want to check on them at the 17-minute mark. If your toothpick comes out clean, you're good to take them out, and then I'll meet you back here so we can try them. Okay, so I took my muffins out of the oven. They were actually baking for 18 minutes. It does vary a little bit by oven, so if you need to check it, I checked it at the 15-minute mark and it was still kind of gooey, so I added an extra 3 minutes. Not a big deal, but I just want to show you what they look like. Look at that. There's already one gone because my special little human took hers. She's so cute. She does love it. So as long as she loves it, that's all that matters. All right, so I'm gonna try mine now. I'm actually gonna come put it here. I just want to show you. It's almost like a brownie, but in a cupcake muffin, if you will. Let's see. So soft, not like a hard dense muffin, super soft. It is very chocolatey, but not super overwhelming. Like, I make them this size because I feel like if you made them any bigger, it would just be kind of an overload. But really, not a negative thing to say about it. Just so good. So good. It'd be perfect with like a glass of milk. So head over to www.thelazygirlskitchen to get the written recipe, and make sure you subscribe and give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.